Hi, Mike. Can you look over here, please, Mike?
It's your buddy, it's your pal, it's your friend, your one and only industry insider, Messier Moment. Mike Messier here at Messier headquarters. Yes, that is a abstract of Sylvester Stallone as Rocky, and that is Arnold Schwarzenegger's bicep. That's how I'm living. So, on this special episode of the Mike Messier Moment, back after 2 weeks hiatus of sorts, technical difficulties. Maybe that's good, because last time I recorded these I was in a very angry mood, but now I'm in a very chipper mood. Chipper. So, today we're going to discuss education. Now you might be wondering, what's this all about, Mike? What are you going to talk to us about? Well, what I'm going to discuss is the fact that a lot of folks that I know that are involved, folks, not people, not chums, but folks, people that are involved in film tend to have all the answers. And the reason why is because they do a lot of on-the-job training. Scratch my neck. And the on-the-job training is very good. The networking, the self-promotion is very good. But there's a third aspect to all of this madness that gets often overlooked, and that is education. Straight-out education. And I want to make a little pie chart, because everybody loves a little pie chart. Education, on-the-job training, networking, and promotion. Education, where to go. On-the-job training, who. Okay, so let's talk about this. The on-the-job training, who. There's a rule of primacy. The rule of primacy states that the first person or people that you learn from, what you learn initially is going to dictate how you act and react and control yourself in the most of your life. So if you learn the wrong way from the wrong people when you first get started, you're going to continue that pattern of mistakes and ballyhoo for the rest of your pathetic life. So if you're learning on the job training and you're not learning from very good resources, you might be just wasting a compounded amount of time. Now then, very deep. Now then, we go to networking and promotion. How much? How much? Well, the idea here, my theory or my thought for you is that if you're networking and socializing with the same people all the time, basically it's socialize. I blew it, because I was going to say if you're networking and promoting with the same people all the time, you're basically socializing. You're no longer networking, you're socializing. You're having a cigarette, you're having a drink, you're hitting on somebody to try and sleep with them, but you're really not professional networking. You are socializing. So be careful that your networking does not become mere socializing. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's not really going to help you out. So finally, we have education. Where to go? Now, I've dabbled and ballyhooed about books all the time. You can go to MikeMessier.com, go to the Progress subheading and find the books section, and you can find a lot of books. But if you want to take workshops, if you want to take classes, you're always welcome to check out Mike Messier's new class, Dal's and Acting. But beyond that, let's talk about some other folks. Now, the art of the schmooze, the art of the networking, the art of the real professional networking, not just the cigarettes and alcohol, but the real deal. I suggest you check out a guy named Jim Germanic, JimGermanok.com, JimGermanic.com, very established professional filmmaker, producer, writer, etc. Teaches a great workshop that I've been to many times. They had it in Boston and Connecticut a few years ago, or a year ago, and now it's very good. So go to JimGermanic.com, find out when Jim's coming back, or go to him. The next one, if you're looking to be a unit production manager or a film producer, or just educate yourself about the business, check out Tom Kane's filmproductionworkshops.com. Tom is very smart. He was a producer on Kramer vs. Kramer, amongst many other films. Worked on worked on Scratch, worked on Taxi Driver, among other great films. So Tom Kane, filmproductionworkshops.com. I'm very flustered today for some reason, and we'll talk about more about that perhaps next week, why I'm flustered this week. So then we have ldipro.com. Contact Annie Mulhall, great casting director from Rhode Island and the southern New England region, and she will educate you on things like the business of acting and monologue work. She can help you a lot. And next we have social networking. I suggest my good chum, Erica Derrickson, the lightning rod of sorts, Erica Derrickson, who's very intelligent in a lot of ways, especially in social media networking. So if you want to know how to really maximize your efforts on Facebook and Twitter and all that good stuff, contact Erica Derrickson. She's easy enough to find through Facebook and other methods, and you can find out how to do social networking to the best possible degree. And Erica also does headshots, blah, blah, blah. So then we finally have a new chum of mine, Jason Brubaker from www.filmmakingstuff.com. Jason is very helpful when it comes to film distribution, new platforms, video on demand platforms, information that he has. I've checked that out recently. I've even bought into it, so I'm not even getting residual from this, although maybe I should. And so blah, 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 blah. So Jason Brubaker, filmmakingstuff.com. So quickly, JimGermanic.com, filmproductionworkshops.com, LDIPro.com, Erica Derrickson, you know, she's all over the place, and Brubaker's, Jason Brubaker's, filmmakingstuff.com. So now I want to babble a little bit. Basically, as I was saying, and this week I'm actually calm, I'm in a restful, you know, meditative Zen mode. Maybe my new class, Tao Zen Acting, Tao Zen Acting's got me all meditated out. Butter or margarine. So there you go. So don't be afraid to educate yourself. Now I'll just go on a soapbox. You know, a lot of people think, well, I went to high school, I went to elementary school, I went to community college, I went to a 4-year plan, I went to massage therapy school. I'm done. I've learned. I'm learned, and I'm complete in my life. That's not true. You're always got to be learning something, whether it's reading a nice book like Zen and the Art of Making a Living, or The Magic of Thinking Big by David J. Schwartz, or any type of novella that might be informative. Although I don't really, just as so you know, I don't really read fiction myself. I'd prefer to see a film. You know, people say, well, the book was better than the movie. You know, blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to go see the movie. I don't have time to sit there and read a narrative about somebody else's shtick. I'd rather read some inspirational, motivational, informative stuff myself. So I think I've ballyhooed and babbled enough. Once again, if you want to look at that pie chart, just because I wrote it, it took so much time with all my graphic design work. Education, where we discussed that. Networking, promotion, how much? You're probably doing enough, if not too much, at this point, except if you're not doing it the right way. Look up Jim Germanic, like I said, and Erica Derrickson. They'll help you out. On the job training who. Remember the rule of primacy. Get in with the good people. Try to get in with the people that know what they're doing, or at least are trying to know what they're doing, or know what you're doing yourself. It's hitting 8 minutes. I'm going to click off. MikeMessier.com, Industry Insiders, yada, yada, yada. Thanks to everyone involved with the Industry Insiders Messier moment. And next week, a very big special announcement. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Mike. Can you look over here, please, Mike?